Lift, lift, lift. That's your mantra. Hello, I'm Amanda Ramsey, your over 40s makeup expert, and join me in this video as I show you how to do blush, highlighter and contour for your mature skin. I want to show you how to tweak that application for mature skin. Now, I should say at this point, whatever you are doing, if you're loving it and you're rocking it, please keep doing it. If it is different to what I say, but you dig it, go for it, because makeup is all about how you feel. Let's start with blush. Our skin tends to be a little drier. Plus, around here is where we tend to get our smile lines and some deeper lines and crinkles. So a cream blush is more flattering for that area. A lot of powders tend to sit in those fine lines and crinkles. Here are some really fun, vibrant looking cream cheek blush colors. Bobbi Brown does a lovely cream blush as well. This is the color Pale Pink, which I know looks a little bit scary, but is so flattering on most skin tones. And this is the color Powder Pink, which I know is in the safe area. So it's for those of you that don't feel like you want too much punch. Then you've also got, for those of you that maybe have a slightly oilier skin type, or you really like that no makeup look, something like the Benefit Benetint, which is a stain, which gives you just that sort of flush just in from the cold look. That might be a good option for you. That is a liquid and it stains the skin. Another cream blush that I absolutely adore because it's lovely and portable and really easy to use is the Anastasia Beverly Hills in this lovely peachy apricot tone. And this comes with a little brush, so great for on the go. Dab, 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 high on the cheekbone and buff that in. Then of course you've got a plethora of powders. My word of warning with this, if you're going to use a powder blush, make sure it isn't too glittery or too light reflecting. The reason we don't want to choose anything too glittery and shimmery, which is wonderful in our 20s, is because it will accentuate the fine lines and crinkles. This is the Italian Summer Face Palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it's a lovely satin finish blush in that palette. This is the Sacred Earth palette from Eye of Horus, and there's a couple of blushes in this palette. Again, they've got a satin finish. They're not too sparkly or glittery or shimmery. Let me show you how I like to apply some of these faves. Let's take our budget busting cheek heat from Maybelline. Just put a little bit onto the back of my hand, and then using my fingers, I'm just going to tap a little bit of that high on the cheekbone. Now, I like high on the cheekbone for mature faces. When we apply our blush high, we are lifting the height of the cheekbone. Then if you've got a powder, what you could do, or you've got a combination skin or a bit of an oily skin and you want to add some oomph, we can add a little bit of extra blush using a powder right on top of that cheekbone. Stipple the product on first rather than swooshing it away. So get it in the location you want it first, then we can blend. It's building that beautiful radiant glow the more you kind of buff it with your brush. We like it. And if you're going to use something like the Benetint, a little goes a long way. It looks like nail polish, but it isn't. It's got a little doe foot on the end, and just start with a couple of dabs and tap that in with your fingers. Finally, I just want to talk to you about color choice. In my professional opinion, the most flattering, universally flattering shades for mature skin are peaches and pinks. So you've got this gorgeous pink or this gorgeous peach, so they're covering all bases in this Eye of Horus palette. And then there's this lovely, again, universally flattering shade in the Anastasia. Steer clear of anything that is too terracotta or too brown. It's just going to be a little bit flattening. Okay, let's talk about what the heck with highlighter. Highlighter is one of the things I get asked about the most. It's almost like the world wants us to embrace highlighter, but for mature skin, it's a little bit intimidating and we're a little bit unsure about how to use it. So let me unpack it. Let's go through some general tips for highlighting first. The types of products. My faves, are cream highlighters or liquid highlighters, again because they tend to be really hydrating and melt into the skin and become a part of the skin. Highlighting powders, unless they're really finely milled, can cling to and accentuate the fine lines and crinkles. A little tip on the colors that are most flattering. You want your highlighter to complement your cheek color that you've chosen. So if you've chosen a really cool pink, sort of blush pink, powder blush pink, ballet slipper pink, then you want to go for something that has a cooler tone, so more a silvery highlighter. If you've chosen a blush that has a bit more warmth in it and is in that sort of apricot peachy tone, then you want to choose something that has a bit more gold in it that will really complement and elevate your blush. At the end of the day, I feel like highlighter for mature skin is all about making your skin look healthy. Now, I really think here how this is different to 20-year-old you. You're probably not going to use as much. I do think general rule is pull back on highlighter. Use it as a tool to give radiance, but you do you, yeah? That's the rule here. Let me show you some of my faves. This is the Kora Organics Rose Quartz Luminizer. Isn't that gorgeous? What I love about cream, again, is that we can use this tool we were born with called our finger. I'm going to really gently tap that on that high point of the cheekbone to just give, I guess this one gives a bit more of a blurred gloss rather than a super shimmer. Look at that, how divine. And my skin looks plump and dewy and radiant. Ooh, we like that. This is quite a creamy consistency. Best suited to those of you that sort of have a normal to more dry skin type. And you can use a touch on your Cupid's bow because it's such a glossy sort of consistency. Another fave is the Touche Eclat by YSL Radiant Touch. I nicknamed this a bit of our senior highlighting, and I really love to use this to bounce light under the eye area and highlight those inner corners of my eyes, but it's really great for those of you that just want to choose something that's a bit more subtle. So with this, we're going to go right into those inner corners, deep under eye creases or darkness, and through the outer corner of the eye, through the center of the forehead, down the center of your nose, on your Cupid's bow, and a touch on the chin. I need to repeat the same on the other side and just gently blend. And that's the YSL Touche Eclat Radiant Touch highlighting. This is called Pi the Impossible Glow. This is what I would refer to as a liquid luminizer or liquid luminizer drops that you can use in a couple of different ways. One idea is to mix this in with your moisturizer, whether that's your body moisturizer or within your foundation, your BB cream, your tinted moisturizer, and use that to give an all-over glow. Really beautiful, brushed onto your collarbones, brushed onto the high points of your cheekbones. I'm going to be a highlighted disco ball by the time we finish this. Couple of drops, little goes a long way. And like we did with the other cream, we're just going to tap that onto the high points. So you can use this as a strategic highlighter or mix it in with some sort of cream or liquid. It's just heavenly. Look at that. Great instant complexion lifter. Another one I really like in this sort of similar ilk, but you can use quite strategically, is the Eye of Horus Luminous Highlighter. This is the color Solar Quartz, and you can tap a little bit of that again onto those high points and just tap. Tapping is best. And of course, you've got highlighter powders. Now, I do err on the side of caution with these. I don't use them very often, but if you have one and you love it, keep using it. Just know that they do tend to kind of highlight those crinkles and wrinkles. Let me just show you the Eye of Horus one here and how I like to use this. I will use this on a small brush to highlight the inner corners of my eyes. So a little on your brush, a little's going to go a long way, and just a little swoosh of that, again, high on the cheekbones. Now remember, I am layered up here. We're getting into some nighttime highlighting glam. Don't get much more carried away with your highlighting than that. The key outcome you're looking for is fresh, healthy, plumper looking skin. Now we're on to what the contouring. Contouring for mature skin. Now, I'm probably not the best person to talk to you about contouring because I'm not a massive believer in it for mature faces. I think it's really easy for contouring to go a little bit wrong on mature skin. Mature skin does tend to get a little more translucent. We do tend to lose the fullness in our faces. Thank you for losing that fat layer under the skin. I mean, how cool is that? Could it not go from our butts? So a lot of mature faces do get that sort of deeper sort of contour through here. If you still have quite a bit of fullness, let me show you a little bit about contouring. Types of products that work really well. Let's look at a cream bronzer. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills cream bronzer in the color Amber. You can use this in a couple of ways. If you do really want to transform or change or contour your face, then try using a cream bronzer before applying your foundation. Other bronzer I absolutely adore is the Eye of Horus. You can see it's not too golden. It's got a bit of a coolness to it, but it's not too cool. Steer away if you're contouring from anything that is shimmery at all. You really want to look for something that is quite matte. We don't want shimmer in areas that we're trying to contour or make look deeper. Anastasia Beverly Hills, this is a great little palette because that bronzer there is also going to make a great contour. Take an angled brush, I'm going to just sculpt a little bit through that zone that is already, you can usually feel where that's going to go, and then sculpt under the jawline. So that's somewhere I will always contour, okay, along the jawline. Just make sure you bring that down. The other place I like to encourage women to use contour is through the forehead, through the eye, from the corner of your eye outwards. Okay, powder on the other hand must be done after you've done your foundations. So I'm going to take that Anastasia Beverly Hills Italian Summer palette. I'm going to use the bronzing powder in here as my contour. Best friend is an angled brush. Same thing, gently through the contours of the cheek. You can see that is mega pigmented. A little bit went a long way, but I'm also layering it over the cream, which you don't need to do. And then come along the jawline. Get it on first and then blend. When you're feathering the bronzer, feather it upwards, but you don't want to come over your highlighter, and blend it down your neck. Contour and bronzing on your ears, and that's it. We are bronzed, we are glowing. If you want to create a bit of depth using your contour products, that's the way to do it. I also think it's just universally flattering through the forehead to give you a little bit of that sun-kissed kind of vibe as well. Click here for more videos with makeup tips for over 40s. I'm Amanda Ramsey, your over 40s makeup expert. It's been a pleasure to bring these tips and tricks to you. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you have any questions, pop them in the comments too. Until next time.